All right, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another edition of The Danny Show. I'm your host, Daniel Cody. Is it all right? Okay, testing. 1, 2, testing. 1, 2. All right, let's just make sure that thing was working together, that my voice connects with the video. Okay, good afternoon. Welcome to the show. Thanks you guys for all your views. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And be sure, if you haven't already, to check out last night's video of SmackDown Review, where, as you will see in the thumbnail, Sasha, after successfully winning alongside Bianca Belair, turns on Bianca Belair. It's funny. Last year she said backstabbing biscuits never win. But last night she became the backstabbing boss. But either way, let's get down to some really serious business here. What in the world is going on? I don't know what's going on here, but we are getting way too many releases lately. As most of you have found out, Bray Wyatt, who most of you know for his alter ego as Fiend, has been released from WWE. So I'm trying to figure out, and maybe I didn't do a lot of research, but it hasn't been said why he was released. I might have to look it up and talk about it later, but I don't know for sure why, but I highly doubt it's about budget cuts, because when WWE did a lot of the releases of Aleister Black, who is now in AEW having a feud with Cody Rhodes, black suit versus white suit, ironically, good versus evil maybe, and he got an amazing pop, by the way. Then you have, and now he's Malachi Black. And that's ironic because his wife, Zelina Vega, is still in WWE and not having a lot of good times lately. Her first match she lost, and even though we were rooting for Liv Morgan, bottom line is she lost. Then she lost again to Tony, and last week thankfully she wasn't really beating Carmella, who is still relevant for whatever reason, apparently because of her looks, tapped out to Sasha. But back to Bray Wyatt. Apparently WWE has been making a lot of budget cuts lately, and I don't know if that's part of the reason. I don't even know if that's justified, because as we all know, Bray Wyatt was the most popular WWE superstar, and he was the type of person that you, like Adam Cole in NXT, you cheered him even knowing that he was the heel. So he was one of the most popular guys in WWE. Last time we saw him, he got missionary Baptist. Everyone loves to use that word lately. And laid out in the spirit his pig puppet, and then laid out Mercy the Buzzard. I don't know if he touched in the bunny Revlin Rablet fell out. I don't know if he fell out under the Holy Ghost or whatever. But last we saw him, Bray Wyatt was acting like a missionary Baptist church bishop. But now, haven't seen him, we've been anticipating his return, and now bang, another release is going on, and I don't know what it is. And with all due respect, I don't think budget cuts is enough of a justification. And I'm going to tell you why. Because if you really want to make a budget cut, and if you really want to get rid of something, if you want to make budget cuts, one of the things you want to do is get rid of somebody that you may not find as valuable. Take, for instance, T-Bar, or should I say Dominik Dijakovic, and Mace. If anybody should be released, and I say this very respectfully, let me finish. If anyone should be released, it's T-Bar and Mace, or should I say Dominik Dijakovic. And the reason why I say that is because both of those guys are being treated like jobbers, and at their size And knowing the potential that Dominic Dijakovic has, if anyone should be released, it's those two, because they're being treated not in the best way. First, you got them wearing, and I gotta say this a certain way just in case my mother's watching. They are, in case my younger brother is watching, because he has no idea what I'm about to allude to. Those guys, somebody said this in a comment section, those guys look like what you would find in an underground flesh dungeon. And I'm going to say it like that, an underground flesh dungeon. And with the mask and everything, which is good to protect you from catching anything, I will give you that. But then when the mask came off, and yes, Drew did do them a favor when he took the mask off. Drew's gonna kill you. I will never forget that, by the way, this past Monday. We know who they are now ever since they took the mask off, but they still kept that T-bar and mace angle. And when they would be defeated via roll-up, the commentators would act like it is a total upset. It should be considered an upset, but it's not, because ever since day one that Dijakovic left NXT, he should have stayed there, but ever since he left and came to Raw, he's been treated like a jobber. And with all due respect, I think they should have gave the budget cut to those two and let them go somewhere where they can be treated with high quality, and WWE can still be great, still be relevant, but at the same time, keep your best stars, so that if we have a Monday Night War or whatever kind of war 2.0, WWE, no one, I don't want anyone to go out of business. Let's just get that clear. I don't want anyone to go out of business. But at the same time, I want WWE to stay successful, and because you have AEW, the crowd is back there, and even before all of this happened with the pandemic, WWE, when you look at them, you're like, yeah, they're okay, but then you're like, AEW is where it's at. The crowd is much more exciting there. Everyone's excited to see the people, and we saw the pop that Malachi Black got, and he was supposed to be the heel. So, which means they know who you are, and people in other organizations appreciate you. Look at what happened with Zack Ryder. I don't know what organization he is in, but the last I saw a thumbnail, it was him holding a championship. Now, he's been U.S. champion, he's been Intercontinental champion, but that IC title only lasted 24 hours when they brought Maurice back into Mrs. Life and onto television, wrestling television, the very next night. But with Bray Wyatt being released, I don't know for sure what it is. I don't know if it's because of something he did. If it is something he did and WWE wants to protect its integrity, I get it, because let's not forget, part of the reason WWE is PG is because they're trying to protect their integrity or reputation after what happened in summer of 2007 that shook the wrestling world, regardless of what organization we were in. And some of you know what I mean, where you were when you heard that story and what I'm talking about. But I just don't understand this one. Braun Strowman being released, I don't know. And the reason why I say if this is a budget cut, then they could have released T-Bar and them to go to 8 somewhere else and be treated with appreciation. And then still WWE keeps its top guys, because Bray is a top guy. So I don't really know why he's released. I mean, we were all anticipating his return. We didn't know if we were going to get a gimmick like Devon Old Testify with his old Missionary Baptist Church gimmick. There goes the M word again. I didn't know if Bray Wyatt was going to do that, or was he going to do a 2.0 version, a much more popular version, dare I would say, of Mordecai, who was supposed to get into a gimmick to build up for WrestleMania 21 against The Undertaker, but things happened. He got released, and that spot got to Randy Orton. And thankfully, that part made the rivalry and Randy Orton great in his own right. It gave us a lot of great memories. So, hey. But either way, Bray Wyatt, I don't know about this one. Now, if, like I said, if there's another reason for this, I can understand. If it's something he did and they're doing it for integrity purposes and reputation purposes, I could kind of understand. Although you guys had grace with Jimmy Uso, because we all know, and everyone deserves grace. Everyone deserves second chances. But we all know what Jimmy Uso did, and he got grace, and we're thankful for that. But I don't get it. If it's budget cuts, we all know what could have been done, T-Bar and Mace. If it's for something he did that goes against WWE's integrity, I could get it, although it wouldn't make as much sense because, again, Jimmy Uso went against WWE's integrity and they gave him grace again. And, of course, where I'm from, I was told that God is a person of 1,000 graces, so, hey. But I don't know. But it still sucks. It still sucks that he's gone. And what makes it more concerning, excuse me, I'm sweating a little bit. What makes it a little more concerning is if we should have a WWE War 2.0 and he ends up in AEW, WWE's going to have a lot of work to do. And WWE, especially SmackDown, has been absolutely amazing. I've never had so much more fun reviewing SmackDown over the past couple of weeks. And ironically, those reviews have been getting a lot of views by you guys. So thank you again for that. But man, I don't know about this one. I don't know. I really don't. But in due time, we'll see what happens. But if he goes to AEW, WWE is going to have thank God for John Cena versus Roman and Edge versus Rollins, Sasha versus Bianca, because backstabbing biscuits never win. But we got some competition if he goes to AEW. WWE will have some work to do competition-wise and ratings-wise. So, we just got to see what happens. It stinks, but we'll see what happens in the future. And that's all the time I got for you today. And I'll be back with another edition, another time, of The Danny Show. See you later, everybody. Have a good weekend.